In the heart of World War II, a Welsh poet named Alun Lewis served in the Royal Engineers. The fate of this soldier poet, revealed in his diary, offers a chilling glimpse into the mysterious depths of war. By the end of tonight's journey, you will understand why some believe that Lewis's death in Burma remains one of the conflict's most haunting enigmas. Born in 1915, Alun Lewis was a gifted writer whose work captured the turmoil and beauty of his native Wales. But as war engulfed Europe, Lewis found himself called to duty. His enlistment would lead him not just into battle, but also into the heart of darkness that even poetry couldn't illuminate. As part of his service in the Royal Engineers, Lewis was deployed to Burma, a distant theatre of war where the British fought against the Japanese. The conditions were harsh, the jungle was dense, and disease was rampant. But it was not just the enemy that posed a threat. Something even more sinister seemed to lurk in the shadows. Lewis's diary entries from this period are sparse and haunting. They reveal a man grappling with the horrors of war, both on and off the battlefield. As he delved deeper into the jungle, his words took on an increasingly desperate tone. Something was consuming him, and it wasn't just exhaustion or fear. The diary offers no clear explanation for the changes in Lewis's mental state, only hints of a growing despair and disorientation. His final entries paint a chilling picture, a man lost not just in the jungle but within himself. Then, without warning, his words stopped, and so did he. The official cause of death was recorded as an accidental overdose, but the circumstances surrounding his demise have led some to speculate that there might be more to the story. Why did a brilliant poet, whose words had once brought comfort and light, end up lost in the dark? As we delve deeper into his diary and the accounts of those who knew him, one thing becomes clear. Alun Lewis's experience in Burma was not just a personal tragedy, but a microcosm of the larger horrors of war. And perhaps, by understanding his story, we can begin to grasp what others have endured. The diary of Alun Lewis remains a poignant reminder that even in the midst of chaos and destruction, human stories, filled with beauty, despair, and mystery, continue to unfold. And as we explore his experiences, we honour not just his memory, but also the countless others whose lives were forever altered by the war. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe. It's free, it helps this channel more than you'd think, and you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it. It should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. The Royal Engineers, a corps of the British Army specialising in military engineering and infrastructure development, played a pivotal role during World War II. Lewis joined the Royal Engineers during the war, bringing with him a unique perspective that would later be reflected in his poetry. The Royal Engineers are known for their expertise in constructing and maintaining vital infrastructure under challenging conditions. This skill was crucial during the war, where they built and repaired roads, bridges, and airfields essential for military operations. Lewis's experiences in the Royal Engineers would provide him with rich material for his poetry. His service in the Corps during World War II would shape his writing and give it a depth that resonated with readers. The Royal Engineers' motto, Ubique, meaning everywhere, highlights their versatility and significance in various theatres of war. This versatility was reflected in Lewis's poetry, which often explored diverse themes and experiences. Understanding his military role in the Royal Engineers helps us frame the context of his wartime experiences and mysterious fate. His service in this elite corps not only shaped his artistic vision, but also provided a lens through which we can view the complexities of war. In the quiet of his personal quarters, Lewis kept a diary. It was not just a record of dates and events, but a chronicle of his inner world, shaped by the chaos around him. He wrote about the heat, the rain, and the constant hum of life around him in Burma. But interspersed between these ordinary observations were darker entries. These entries hint at a mysterious death that Lewis himself may have witnessed or been involved in. The diary is more than a memento, it's a window into the brutal realities of war that Lewis saw firsthand. These pages whisper secrets that only a few know, and their existence raises more questions than answers. As we delve deeper into Lewis's story, the diary becomes a beacon, guiding us through the labyrinthine paths of his experiences during World War II. The words on these pages are not just ink on paper, they are echoes of a man's soul, grappling with the inexplicable. And so, we find ourselves drawn into Lewis's story, pulled by the enigmatic force of his diary, eager to uncover its hidden truths. As we read on, the mystery of Lewis's diary deepens, and with it, our understanding of the complexities of war and the human spirit. His diary reveals that he was deeply affected by his wartime experiences, grappling with the brutal realities of conflict and the inevitable separation from loved ones. Lewis's poetry is imbued with a profound sense of melancholy and longing, reflecting the emotional turmoil he must have endured while serving in the Royal Engineers. One of his most poignant pieces, All the Nice Things, is a stark reminder of the simplicity and beauty of life away from war's devastating reach. In this poem, Lewis describes the nice things of life, simple pleasures like a warm bed and good food, which become luxuries in the harsh reality of war. The contrast between his poetic reflections and the harsh realities documented in his diary highlights the deep emotional conflict he faced. Lewis's ability to find beauty in the mundane amidst such chaos underscores the resilience of the human spirit. Understanding his poetry helps us connect Lewis's personal feelings to his military experiences and sheds light on the mystery surrounding his death. As the clock struck midnight on September 1, 1939, a chill swept across Europe. The day had been filled with anxiety and anticipation as news of German forces mobilizing spread like wildfire. This was no ordinary night. It marked the beginning of World War II. As Lewis served in the Royal Engineers, he witnessed firsthand the horrors of war. The engineers were often deployed in some of the most treacherous and hostile environments, tasked with building and maintaining structures under constant threat of enemy fire. The diary that Lewis kept during his service offers a haunting glimpse into the reality he faced. His entries are filled with descriptions of intense battles, the loss of comrades, and the ever-present fear of death. Amidst this carnage, Lewis managed to capture moments of beauty in his poetry. His words serve as a poignant reminder that even in the darkest times, human spirit and creativity endure. Yet, amidst these artistic moments of respite, the diary reveals a deeper, more enigmatic side to Lewis's experiences. One entry in particular stands out. He began creating a ticking time bomb, and only he knew how to defuse it. This cryptic passage adds a layer of intrigue to the already mysterious circumstances surrounding his death. As we delve deeper into Lewis's story, the brutal realities of war amplify the enigma, leaving us with more questions than answers. Perhaps Lewis's words will someday shed light on what he experienced in those final, fateful days. But for now, his diary remains a haunting testament to the human spirit in the face of insurmountable odds. Lewis's diary entries paint a vivid picture of the conditions he faced in Burma. The intense heat, humidity, and relentless mosquitoes took a toll on his health and spirit. Despite the hardships, Lewis continued to write. His poetry during this period becomes darker and more introspective, reflecting his inner turmoil. The diary entries leading up to his death are filled with a sense of foreboding and despair. One entry reads, "I am sick at heart, and the world is not as it should be." The exact circumstances of his death remain a mystery. His body was found with no apparent injuries or signs of struggle. His final entry simply states, "The darkness closes in, and I am afraid." His poetry often explores the themes of loneliness, longing for home, and the stark contrast between the beauty of nature and the brutality of war. Through his verses, we catch glimpses of a man struggling to reconcile his artistic sensibilities with the harsh realities he faced on the battlefield. One of Lewis's most poignant poems, All the Time Through the Trees, The Snow Falls, captures this duality perfectly. The title itself evokes a sense of serene beauty, yet the poem delves into the profound isolation and fear that war engenders. These diary entries humanize Lewis, transforming him from a name in history books to a real person with real fears and hopes. They underscore the emotional weight of his poetry and provide context for understanding his artistic output. But what truly resonates is how Lewis's experiences and emotions are universally relatable. His poetry transcends the specifics of war to speak to the human condition itself, making his work timeless. Reflecting on Lewis's legacy helps tie all these elements together: his wartime experiences, his diary entries, and his poetry. It serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of art to capture the essence of human experience. As we ponder Lewis's poetry, we are reminded that even in the darkest times, there is beauty and hope to be found. His enduring legacy serves as an invitation to explore our own emotional landscapes and the power of art to transform them. One of the critical pieces of information about Lewis's time in service is the location where he met his end. Known today as Myanmar, Burma was a theatre of significant military operations during World War II. The region's strategic importance and harsh conditions made it a formidable challenge for troops stationed there. Lewis's diary entries from Burma offer a poignant glimpse into his personal experiences during this tumultuous time. His words capture the stark realities of war, the resilience of the human spirit, and the profound impact of his environment on his creativity. As we delve deeper into these entries, we begin to unravel the threads of a life cut tragically short. The mystery surrounding Lewis's death in Burma adds an additional layer of intrigue to his story, inviting us to ponder not only his personal experiences, but also the broader historical context of the war. In the grand narrative of World War II, Lewis's story serves as a reminder of the human cost behind every military operation and strategic maneuver. His enduring legacy, preserved in his poetry and diary entries, stands as an invitation to explore not just the historical context, but also the profound impact of war on individual lives. In the dense jungles of Burma, Lewis and his fellow engineers constructed vital infrastructure, often under hazardous conditions. His time in the war profoundly influenced his poetry. Lewis's writings during this period capture the raw, often grim reality of combat and the psychological toll it exacted. One of his most powerful pieces, WWII, explores the theme of loss and separation, echoing the experiences of soldiers far from home. Lewis's diary entries provide a vivid window into his daily life during the war. They reveal both mundane details and moments of intense danger. Tragically, Lewis's diary entries cease abruptly in late 1944. The silence of his final months remains one of the great mysteries surrounding his life. The circumstances of his death remain unclear. What is known is that Lewis was reported missing in action near the Irrawaddy River in Burma. Some speculate that he may have been a casualty of combat, while others point to the possibility of illness or even desertion. Despite the uncertainty, Lewis's legacy endures. His poetry and diary entries serve as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. The king ascended the throne in September 2022 following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, marking a significant transition in British history. The Royal Engineers played a crucial role in the complex logistical and strategic operations of World War II, contributing significantly to the Allies' efforts. Their work ranged from constructing bridges to maintaining supply lines in some of the war's most challenging fronts. The diary entries, now cherished for their historical and literary significance, offer a raw and intimate portrayal of the personal costs of war. They serve as a reminder that behind every statistic and strategic victory lie individual stories of sacrifice and resilience. Reflecting on the broader impact of war, one cannot help but be struck by how it touches every aspect of human life, from the grand strategic plans to the intimate personal struggles. Lewis's experiences and poetry encapsulate this duality. Born in 1915 and educated at University College Cardiff, Lewis was already making waves in the literary world with his collection, Raids, when he enlisted in the army. His work during this time reflected the turmoil and uncertainty of wartime life, even as he sought solace in the beauty of the natural world. Lewis's poetry is marked by a deep sense of longing and loss. In The Barge, he writes, "When the barge sinks under me, I shall be drowned in a silence without end or echo." This poignant imagery highlights the profound sense of dislocation and despair that many soldiers felt during the war. His diary entries, written while stationed in Burma, reveal a man grappling with both the horrors of war and the beauty of his surroundings. The stark contrast between these experiences is evident in his writings, which oscillates between vivid descriptions of nature and haunting accounts of combat. The mystery surrounding Lewis's death adds another layer of depth to his poetry. Found shot in the head with his own pistol, the circumstances of his demise remain unclear to this day. Was it an accident? A suicide? The ambiguity only serves to deepen the emotional resonance of his work. Celebrating his poetry helps tie together his wartime experiences, diary entries, and the enduring themes of longing and loss that permeate his writing. His words continue to resonate with readers, offering a powerful testament to the human condition during times of great upheaval. In the end, Alan Lewis's poetry stands as a poignant reminder of the complex emotional landscapes that lie beneath the surface of even the most turbulent times. His work serves not only as a tribute to his own experiences, but also as a beacon of empathy and understanding for those who continue to navigate the challenges of war and its aftermath. Yet, despite his poignant reflections on the human condition, Lewis's fate remains shrouded in mystery. His diary ends abruptly, with no explanation for his sudden demise. Pondering this unsolved enigma adds intrigue and depth to Lewis's story. It serves as a poignant reminder of the countless lives lost and the innumerable mysteries that remain unanswered from one of history's most devastating conflicts. Ultimately, Alan Lewis's life and poetry stand as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. His diary's final words echo the unresolved questions that continue to haunt us today. Lewis's poems often reflected the serenity and majesty of the Welsh landscape, providing a stark contrast to the harsh realities he would later encounter during World War II. One of his notable poems, All Day It Has Rained, captures this contrast perfectly. The poem's tranquil imagery of rain falling on the Welsh countryside serves as a poignant reminder of the simplicity and beauty of life before war. In the poem, Lewis writes, "And I have walked and walked and walked," to evoke a sense of peaceful wandering through the rain-soaked landscape. This serene imagery was deeply rooted in his memories of Wales, where he grew up surrounded by the natural beauty of the countryside. The stark contrast between the serene landscapes of Wales and the brutal realities of war often surfaced in his wartime poetry. In one of his later poems, Lewis described how the memories of Wales served as a sanctuary amidst the chaos and destruction around him. This contrast between the beauty of nature and the horrors of war highlights the deep influence that the natural world had on Lewis's writing. The importance of these wartime friendships cannot be overstated. They provided a lifeline amid the chaos and brutality of war. In his diary, Lewis chronicled the profound impact these relationships had on him and his fellow soldiers. The poem, At the Battlefront, is a poignant testament to this human connection. In At the Battlefront, Lewis writes about a group of soldiers gathered around a fire. He describes how they share stories, laughter, and a sense of mutual support that transcends the horrors of their surroundings. These moments of connection were not just respite from war, they were an integral part of his creative process. The relationships and experiences shaped his writing, imbuing it with a profound sense of humanity. Lewis's ability to capture the essence of camaraderie is a testament to his deep empathy and keen observation. His writing stands as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, human connection can be a source of light. He attended local ceremonies, learned the dialect, and wandered through the lush landscapes. These experiences enriched his poetry. His poem, In the Night Lodge, captures the essence of these encounters, weaving together the sights and sounds of Burmese culture. Through his writing, Lewis offers a glimpse into the life of Burmese people during wartime. His exposure to this new culture broadened his poetic themes and deepened his understanding of human nature amidst the chaos of war. And so, through the lens of Alan Lewis's time in Burma, we see that even amidst war, there can be moments of connection and understanding. Amidst the chaos of war, Alan Lewis's diary reveals a poetic insight into his final days. His last entries are not mere records of events, but deeply introspective poems in their own right. They offer glimpses into the mind of a man grappling with profound uncertainty. Lewis described the lush Burmese landscapes as if they were characters in a story, each with its own voice and narrative. The diaries are not just documentation, they're vivid depictions of his surroundings, filled with sensory details that transport the reader to Burma. He writes about the monsoon rains as if they were a living entity with their own rhythm and purpose. This poetic license he gives his surroundings reveals the turmoil within him as he struggles to find meaning in the chaos around him. His final entries are imbued with a sense of longing and loss, echoing the themes that run through his poetry. The haunting beauty of his words hints at an underlying despair, a sense of being adrift in an unfamiliar world. These entries provide a window into the heart and mind of a man who was both deeply moved by his experiences and profoundly unsettled by them. Through these final words, we see that even amidst the horror of war, there can be moments of poignant introspection and artistic creation. Before we delve into the poetry of Alan Lewis, let's explore his early life. Born in Wales, he was surrounded by a rich literary tradition that would profoundly influence his work. His childhood in the lush Welsh countryside provided a fertile ground for his imagination to bloom. The rolling hills and tranquil valleys often found their way into his later poems. Educated at University College, Aberystwyth, Lewis immersed himself in the world of literature and poetry. His studies would lay the foundation for his future artistic pursuits. His early literary influences included Welsh poets like Dylan Thomas and R.S. Thomas, whose works resonated deeply with his own experiences and perceptions of the world. This early exposure to Welsh literature instilled in him a deep appreciation for the language's poetic capabilities and its unique cultural heritage. These formative experiences would later shape his own writing style, imbuing it with a sense of place and identity that is distinctly Welsh. His time at Aberystwyth not only honed his poetic skills, but also nurtured a lifelong love for the written word and its power to evoke emotions. These early experiences set the stage for Lewis's poetic journey, culminating in his mysterious death during World War II, a story that is as compelling as it is tragic. With this foundation established, we can now begin to explore the evolution of Alan Lewis's poetry and its enduring impact. One major influence on Lewis's work was the Romantic poets, particularly John Keats and Percy Bysshe Shelley. Their exploration of nature and emotion resonated deeply with Lewis. Keats's vivid descriptions of the natural world and his intense emotional landscapes left an indelible mark on Lewis's early poetry. Shelley's rebellious spirit and his passionate advocacy for social causes echoed in Lewis's later writings, shaping his thematic focus on justice and human suffering. Beyond the Romantics, Lewis was drawn to the modernists, particularly T.S. Eliot. Eliot's use of fragmented language and his exploration of spiritual disillusionment were formative for Lewis. Eliot's poem, The Waste Land, introduced Lewis to the concept of poetic fragmentation and the power of juxtaposing disparate elements. This technique allowed Lewis to capture the fractured realities of war and its impact on individual psyches. Another influential figure was W.B. Yeats, whose mystical and nationalistic themes resonated with Lewis. Yeats's exploration of Irish folklore and his deep dive into the spiritual dimensions of human experience inspired Lewis to delve into Welsh mythology. This integration of cultural heritage into his poetry enriched Lewis's work with a unique sense of place and history. Lewis's literary influences were not confined to the English language. He was also profoundly impacted by German poets such as Rainer Maria Rilke. Rilke's intense emotionality and his ability to distill complex emotions into profoundly simple language left a lasting impression on Lewis. Lewis's poetic style evolved significantly over time, moving from an early romanticism to a more fragmented and introspective voice. His thematic focus shifted as well, with later poems exploring the human condition amidst the brutal realities of war. This evolution culminates in a body of work that stands as a testament to Lewis's literary journey and his enduring poetic voice. World War II was a tumultuous time for Britain, with the country mobilising its entire population towards the war effort. The British government implemented rationing systems to ensure fair distribution of essential goods like food and clothing. Public sentiment during this period was largely characterised by a sense of collective duty and resilience, as citizens banded together in support of the war effort. The political climate saw an increase in government control, with measures such as the Defence Regulation 18B allowing for the internment of individuals deemed a threat to national security. Everyday life was significantly impacted, with blackouts becoming a common occurrence as air raids threatened major cities like London. The social fabric of Britain during this time was woven together by a strong sense of community and shared purpose, as neighbours supported each other through the trials of war. His diary reveals a sense of isolation and disquiet. In one entry dated March 1945, he wrote, "The jungle presses in on all sides. The heat is unbearable. I feel as if I am losing my grip on reality." Lewis's final days in Burma were marked by a series of unsettling experiences that left him feeling disconnected from the world. Theories abound about the cause of Lewis's demise. Some suggest that he succumbed to malaria or another tropical disease. Others propose that the psychological strain of war took a devastating toll on his mental health. Perhaps most intriguing is the possibility that Lewis's final days were clouded by a mysterious illness or injury, hinted at but never fully explained in his diary. His enigmatic death in Burma has left behind more questions than answers, adding to the enduring mystery surrounding Alun Lewis's last days. In a letter to his fiancée, Lewis wrote about the desolation he felt being so far from home and the comforts of civilian life. This sentiment echoes in his poem, All Night in Rhodestown, where he describes the loneliness and emptiness that pervade a place once filled with life and laughter. Another recurring theme in Lewis's letters is his grappling with the brutality of war and its effect on the human spirit. This raw honesty about the horrors of conflict finds expression in his poem Winter Night, Burma, where he paints a vivid picture of the cold and desolation experienced by soldiers on the front line. His letters also convey a deep sense of patriotism and duty, reflecting his commitment to serving his country despite the hardships. This theme is woven into The Sentry, where Lewis explores the responsibility and vigilance required of a soldier, even in the face of danger and uncertainty. Through his correspondence, Alun Lewis was able to channel his emotions into powerful verses that capture both the personal struggles and the larger historical context of World War II. His wartime letters, with their poignant themes and honest expressions of feeling, deepened his poetic expression amidst the hardships of war. Lewis's ability to draw on these personal connections and experiences allowed him to create poetry that resonates with an emotional depth unparalleled by his contemporaries. His correspondence not only illuminates the man behind the poetry, but also underscores how personal connections can elevate artistic expression even in the most trying circumstances. Lewis's spiritual journey during the war was a testament to how religion and spirituality can provide a coping mechanism in times of turmoil. His diary entries from Burma are filled with introspective reflections on his faith, revealing how spirituality became a vital part of his experience as a soldier. One notable poem, All the Way to Burma, shows the influence of his spiritual quests on his writing. In this work, Lewis draws parallels between his journey through war-torn landscapes and a deeper spiritual pilgrimage. Lewis's exploration of faith was not mere escapism, it offered him a framework for understanding the complexities of war and human suffering. His spiritual journals often highlight moments of quiet contemplation amidst the chaos of war, providing insights into how he found meaning and resilience in his beliefs. As we delve into these intimate records, it becomes clear that religion and spirituality were not just peripheral aspects of his life, but central to his identity as a poet and a soldier. Lewis's spirituality provided him with an unshakable inner strength that resonates through his poetry, even in the most challenging circumstances. His diary entries and poems together paint a portrait of a man who found solace and creative fuel in his spiritual beliefs, making his contributions to literature all the more profound. Lewis's use of natural imagery was not merely decorative, it served as a powerful symbolism that highlighted both the beauty and fragility of life. His poems often juxtaposed the serene landscapes with the harsh realities of war, creating a stark contrast that resonated deeply with readers. One of his most notable works, All the Night Tides, paints a vivid picture of the tranquil seaside at night. The poem opens with the line, "The sea is quiet tonight," setting a peaceful scene that immediately contrasts with the chaos of war. Throughout the poem, Lewis described the gentle rhythm of the waves and the silent communication between the moon and the sea. This serene imagery serves as a reminder of the enduring beauty of nature, even in times of turmoil. In The Sentry, another poignant piece, Lewis draws a parallel between the sentry guarding the trenches and the watchful eyes of an owl. The poem reads, "It is the owl that calls tonight, not the screech owl, but one whose cry is wilder and more moving." Here, the owl becomes a symbol of vigilance and resilience, mirroring the sentry's duty amidst the darkness and danger. This natural imagery humanizes the experience of war, making it more relatable to those who might not have been on the front lines. Lewis's poetry also explored the fleeting nature of life, often drawing comparisons between the transient beauty of nature and the ephemeral moments of peace amidst war. In At War, he writes, "The flowers are blooming still, a subtle nod to the continuity of life despite the chaos around it." By highlighting these contrasts, Lewis's poetry offers a sense of solace and inspiration amidst the devastation of war. The natural world becomes a refuge, a reminder that beauty and tranquility can endure even in the most challenging circumstances. Ultimately, Alan Lewis's depictions of the natural world serve as a testament to his ability to find moments of beauty and hope in the midst of war. His poetry invites readers to appreciate the resilience and enduring spirit that nature embodies, providing a profoundly human connection in an otherwise desolate time. His work stands as a poignant reminder that even in the darkest hours, there is always something worth cherishing and preserving. One of Lewis's most influential poems is All the Night Tides, which captures the essence of longing and loss. This poem has inspired numerous other writers to explore themes of nostalgia and the human condition in their own works. Another notable piece by Lewis is Winter Journey, which delves into the isolation and introspection that often accompany wartime experiences. This poem has been referenced in modern literature as a profound exploration of the emotional landscape during times of conflict. Lewis's ability to distill complex emotions into vivid imagery has made his work timeless and relevant to contemporary audiences. His poetry serves as a bridge connecting the experiences of war with the universal human emotions that transcend time. Even today, Lewis's poems are studied and admired for their poignant insights into the human condition. The enduring influence of Alan Lewis's poetry illustrates the lasting relevance of his work and its ability to resonate with future generations, ensuring that his legacy lives on. Through his poetry, Alan Lewis continues to inspire new generations of writers and readers, keeping the spirit of his work alive in our collective consciousness. From the trenches of World War II to the quiet corners of his diary, Alan Lewis's love life was as complex and multifaceted as his poetry itself. Their romance blossomed under the Welsh sky, but the harsh realities of war tore them apart. His diary entries reveal a man grappling with longing and despair, his words echoing the depths of his poetry's emotional landscape. Yet, amidst the sorrow, Lewis found solace in fleeting connections with other women he encountered during his military service. These experiences added layers to his poetry, infusing it with a profound sense of longing and loss that transcends the specificity of place or time. Beyond the vivid imagery and profound emotions of Alan Lewis's poetry, there lies another layer that enriches his writing: music. His appreciation for various musical genres was not merely a passing interest, but an integral part of his creative process. Throughout his life, Lewis found inspiration in the rhythm and melody of different compositions, which often made their way into his poetic works. One can find hints of musical inspiration in his diary entries as well. In a passage from his Wartime journal, Lewis mentions listening to the haunting melodies of traditional Burmese music, which he found both soothing and evocative. This musical sensitivity was not merely a casual observation, but a profound influence on his writing. The rhythmic cadences of various compositions often echoed in the meter and structure of his poetry. In one of Lewis's most notable poems, The Sentry, he uses the metaphor of a sentry on guard duty to explore themes of isolation and vigilance. The poem's cadence subtly mimics the rhythm of a marching band, hinting at his military background and the influence of martial music. Music also played a role in shaping Lewis's personal experiences. His diary reveals that he often turned to musical compositions as a means of coping with the stresses of war. The influence of music on his poetry becomes even more apparent in his later works, where he increasingly incorporates musical themes and motifs into his verses. Exploring the role music played in Alan Lewis's life and work offers a deeper understanding of the varied influences that infused his poetry with rich emotional textures. Whether it was the rhythm of marching bands or the haunting melodies of traditional Burmese music, these sounds resonated deeply within him and found expression in his verses. In investigating the enigmatic death of Alan Lewis, we are reminded of the profound impact music had on his creative process. It was more than just a source of inspiration, it was an essential part of who he was as an artist. Lewis's poetry, with its profound sense of longing and loss, transcends the specifics of time and place, thanks in part to the universal language of music that runs through it. His education at the University College of North Wales exposed him to a vibrant academic community that fostered his love for literature. Notable figures like Dylan Thomas and Vernon Watkins were part of his literary circle, influencing his poetic sensibilities. Lewis also participated in the literary club known as the Swansea Writers, which brought together aspiring poets and writers of the era. These associations provided a rich context for his poetry, imbuing it with themes of longing and loss that transcend specific times and places. The universal language of music that runs through Lewis's poetry is a testament to the profound influence of his intellectual pursuits and literary circles. Lewis's combat experiences were varied and intense. He participated in campaigns across Burma, where he encountered brutal fighting conditions. One particularly harrowing event occurred during the Battle of Imphal, where Lewis found himself in a firefight with Japanese forces. The chaos and carnage he witnessed left an indelible mark on his psyche. The emotional toll was immense. In his diary, Lewis wrote about the constant fear and anxiety that gripped him during those days. "Every sound is a potential threat," he noted. This raw emotion found its way into his poetry, reflecting the inner turmoil and trauma of war. Poems like All Day It Has Rained and The Sentry capture the bleakness and despair he felt. Lewis's poetry becomes a medium through which he grapples with the horrors of war, attempting to make sense of the senseless destruction around him. Despite its brevity, Alan Lewis's life and work serve as a poignant testament to how combat experiences can profoundly influence artistic expression. Amidst the chaos of war, letters became a lifeline for many soldiers, including Lewis. His correspondence with Guino, his fiancée, reveals the emotional depth and turmoil that would come to shape his poetic themes. In one letter, Lewis writes poignantly about the loneliness and longing he feels far away from home and the woman he loves. "The nights are so long here," he says, "and the days seem endless." These sentiments echo throughout his wartime poetry. His letters also hint at a growing disillusionment with war, a feeling that would later be reflected in his verse. "I am beginning to see the futility of it all," he confesses. Yet, amidst the darkness, there are moments of tenderness and hope that find their way into his poetry as well. He writes of a sunset in Burma, a fireball sinking into the jungle, a stark contrast to the bleak landscapes he often describes. These glimpses of beauty amidst the horror are what give Lewis's poetry its profound emotional resonance. They serve as a reminder that even in the most desolate places, there is still room for wonder and connection. The Greeks, with their pantheon of gods and goddesses, provided Lewis with a wealth of themes to explore. From the tragic love story of Orpheus and Eurydice to the epic journey of Odysseus, these myths offered timeless narratives that could be reshaped into modern context. Similarly, Welsh myths, like the tales of King Arthur and the Mabinogion, offered a rich cultural heritage that Lewis could draw upon. These stories, rooted in the ancient Celtic traditions, bring a sense of continuity and connection to his poetry. For instance, in his poem All Day It Has Rained, Lewis weaves together imagery from both Greek and Welsh myths to create a layered narrative. The rain, which could be seen as a symbol of the tears shed by Eurydice or the relentless sea Odysseus traversed, becomes a central motif in the poem. These mythological references add layers of meaning to Lewis's poetry, transforming simple experiences into profound and universal themes. By blending these mythological elements into his poetry, Lewis invites us to see beyond the immediate horrors of war, revealing a deeper human experience that transcends time and place. In his diary, Lewis reveals how he grappled with the contrast between the harsh realities of war and the idealized images propagated by wartime media. His poetry, which blends mythological elements, begins to reflect this tension. As he encounters the stark truths of combat in Burma, his writing starts to challenge the romanticized notions of warfare. Lewis's critical perspective on propaganda emerges clearly in one of his poems, where he describes the dissonance between the noble ideals sold by war propagandists and the brutal reality on the ground. In this poem, Lewis paints a vivid image of soldiers who are not heroic figures, but rather victims, trapped in a cycle they barely understand. Through his poetry, Lewis invites us to see beyond the surface-level patriotism and into the complex emotional landscape of those caught in war's grip. This evolving political consciousness in his work is a testament to Lewis's ability to capture the nuances of human experience amidst the chaos and deception of war. During his deployment in Burma, Lewis engaged deeply with local customs and traditions, seeing them as a reflection of human resilience amidst adversity. He was particularly drawn to the vibrant festivals celebrated by the Burmese people, which offered him a stark contrast to the grim realities of war. These cultural exchanges profoundly influenced his poetry. In one of his poems, Burma, Lewis captures the spirit of a traditional festival, painting a vivid picture of colourful processions and joyous celebrations. This work is a testament to his ability to find beauty in the midst of chaos. The poem also hints at a deeper understanding of the Burmese people, their culture, and their struggle under foreign occupation. This nuanced perspective is a hallmark of Lewis's poetry, setting it apart from more simplistic wartime narratives. Through his encounters and interactions, Lewis came to appreciate the complexities of human experience under different circumstances. His poetry not only reflects these experiences, but also invites readers to consider their own perceptions and biases. His ability to capture these complexities in verse is what makes Alan Lewis's poetry so profound and enduring. The cultural exchange he experienced during the war was a pivotal element in shaping his literary voice, giving us a rich legacy that continues to resonate today. In the end, Lewis's poetry serves as a reminder of the power of cultural exchange, even in the darkest of times. It is through these encounters that we come to understand and appreciate one another's experiences more deeply. Lewis, a royal engineer, found himself in this far-off land where colonial attitudes and practices were deeply ingrained. The British administration's approach to governance was one of control and order, with a strong emphasis on maintaining their influence. Despite the rigid structures of colonial rule, Lewis's diary reveals interactions with local people that hint at a more nuanced reality. These encounters challenged his preconceived notions and likely influenced his poetic themes. For instance, Lewis's poems began to reflect the complexities of life under colonial rule, capturing both the beauty and the brutality of this period. His diary entries paint a vivid picture of the tensions and contradictions inherent in colonialism, highlighting how these experiences were woven into his artistic expression. It is through these encounters and reflections that we come to understand how colonialism shaped not just Lewis's perspective, but also his art. The emotional toll of this isolation was palpable in his poetry. Themes of longing and disconnection became prevalent, reflecting the inner turmoil he must have been experiencing. Lewis's diary reveals glimpses into his emotional state, showing a man grappling with the stark realities of war and the profound isolation it brought upon him. His final works, written during this period of intense isolation, carry an unmistakable melancholy that serves as a poignant reminder of the emotional landscape that shaped them. Lewis's experience in Burma underscores the profound impact that isolation can have on creativity and emotional well-being, offering deeper insight into the forces that influenced his final works. This understanding provides a more nuanced perspective on Lewis's art and highlights how his personal experiences were intrinsically woven into the fabric of his poetry. Through these encounters and reflections, we can appreciate not just the artistic brilliance of Alun Lewis, but also the profound human story behind it. Letters from Alun to his family were filled with warmth and emotion, often revealing the stark realities of war intertwined with moments of hope. In one particularly poignant letter to his family, Alun describes a night where the sky was lit up by artillery flares and the distant rumble of battle. He writes about how he longed for the comforting familiarity of home. He reflects on the beauty of the night sky in Burma, a stark contrast to the horrors he witnessed during the day. This juxtaposition highlights his resilience and ability to find moments of solace amidst the turmoil. Through his letters, we catch a glimpse of Alun's deep sense of patriotism and duty, yet also of his longing for the simple pleasures of civilian life. One letter stands out where he recounts a quiet evening spent writing poetry under the moonlight, finding solace in his creative pursuits. He confides in his family that these moments of tranquility and self-expression are what keep him going through the trials of war. His letters paint a vivid picture of his inner turmoil and his attempts to reconcile the brutality of war with his love for life and beauty. Sadly, his final letter home remains a mystery, hinting at an enigma that we may never fully understand. This sense of loss and unanswered questions adds to the poignancy of his story. His letters serve as a testament to his humanity and the profound impact war had on him, offering a deeply personal window into his experiences. Through these letters, we gain an appreciation for the profound human story behind Alun Lewis's poetry and his enduring connection with his family amidst the chaos of war. In his poem All Day It Has Rained, Lewis uses vivid natural imagery to convey the dreariness and despair of wartime life. The persistent rain serves as a metaphor for the endless struggle and hopelessness felt by soldiers far from home. The poem's opening lines set the tone, "All day it has rained, and we have watched the grey processionals of wet light watering the windows." This imagery creates a sense of isolation and gloom that resonates deeply with anyone who has experienced long periods of darkness and despair. In another poem titled The Sentry, Lewis employs the stark image of a lone sentry standing guard to capture the loneliness and vulnerability of war. The soldier, described as a boy who never grew up, is a poignant symbol of youth lost to the horrors of conflict. The imagery in The Sentry is particularly striking. Under a low, black sky on a lonely hill, a sentry watches and waits. There are no signs of life. This stark depiction underscores the soldier's isolation and the emptiness that surrounds him, evoking a profound sense of melancholy in the reader. Through these images, Lewis masterfully transforms raw wartime experiences into evocative poetry that resonates with anyone who has felt the weight of despair and loneliness. His work serves as a potent reminder of the human cost of war and the enduring power of artistic expression to capture and convey complex emotions. This ability to transform his wartime experiences into compelling imagery is what makes Alun Lewis's poetry so enduring and poignant. His work stands as a testament to the profound emotional landscapes that war creates, and the power of art to illuminate those experiences for future generations. Illuminating how he transformed raw wartime experiences into evocative poetry, Lewis's imagery serves as a powerful reminder of the human stories behind the historical events of war. His work offers an intimate glimpse into the emotional turmoil and resilience that defines the lives of those caught in conflict. Philip Larkin, a notable poet of the mid-20th century, was among those influenced by Lewis's work. Larkin's poem, Next Please, is often cited as a reflection of themes echoed in Lewis's poetry. Larkin's Next Please, much like Lewis's poems, explores the theme of loss and the passage of time. The poignancy of these themes in the post-war era cannot be overstated. The influence of Lewis's writing on nature is also evident in Larkin's work. Both poets capture the serene beauty of the natural world, contrasting it with the chaos of war. Another poet inspired by Lewis is R.S. Thomas, whose works often delve into themes of loss and resilience. These themes are a recurring motif in post-war poetry, drawing from the experiences of World War II. Lewis's ability to convey the emotional turmoil of war through his poetry has had a lasting impact on subsequent generations. Poets continue to explore these themes, keeping the legacy of Lewis's work alive. As we look back at Lewis's life and work, it is clear that his poetry has left an enduring mark on post-war literature. His themes of loss, war, and nature continue to inspire contemporary poets. The impact of Alan Lewis's poetry extends beyond his own lifetime, illustrating the timeless resonance of his work. Even today, his themes continue to be explored and reinterpreted by new generations of writers. In conclusion, Alan Lewis's poetry has not only captured the essence of his time, but also laid the groundwork for future poets to explore similar themes. His legacy lives on in the works of those who have been inspired by him. Steps were taken to preserve the diary, recognizing its historical significance. Historians and researchers worked diligently to decipher ambiguous entries and piece together the fragments of Lewis's last days. Despite these efforts, some mysteries persist. The enigmatic nature of Lewis's death continues to intrigue scholars and enthusiasts alike. His diary offers a glimpse into his inner world and experiences, making the preservation of this document all the more important. Thanks to these preservation efforts, we have a richer understanding of Alan Lewis and his contribution to literature during one of history's most tumultuous periods. The discovery and preservation of Alun Lewis's diary have ensured that his legacy endures, offering future generations a window into the past. Lewis's wartime poems, such as All Day It Has Rained, capture the raw emotional landscape of soldiers in combat. This honest portrayal struck a chord with both his contemporaries and future generations of poets. The impact of Lewis's poetry extends beyond individual authors. His writing contributed to a broader literary movement that sought to humanize the experiences of soldiers and offer a more nuanced view of war. Despite his untimely death, Lewis's legacy endures as a reminder of the profound impact that wartime experiences can have on artistic expression. His poetry continues to inspire new generations of writers and readers alike. As we deepen our understanding of Alan Lewis's life and work, we gain a richer appreciation for the ways in which wartime experiences can shape artistic expression and contribute to the broader landscape of British literature. Among Lewis's poetry, several pieces reflect or react to this propagandistic environment. His poem, All Day It Has Rained, written in 1942, captures a sense of disillusionment and weariness that contrasts sharply with the optimism often promoted by wartime propaganda. The poem describes a bleak landscape under constant rain, symbolizing the relentless struggles and hardships of war. Lewis writes, "All day it has rained, and we have been forced to play indoors in this stuffy room with nothing to say." This stark contrast between the grim reality and the propagated images of heroism and resilience is a recurring theme in Lewis's work. His poetry often serves as a counterpoint to the romanticized narratives pushed by war propaganda. Another example is Today That I Saw Your Brother, where Lewis grapples with the human cost of war. The poem laments the loss of innocence and youth, themes that were glossed over by propaganda focused on national pride and victory. Lewis writes, "Today that I saw your brother standing barefoot on the road, his toes gripping the hot duster, like a man with no future," he wrote, conveying a profound sense of loss and despair that propaganda sought to conceal. In these poems, Lewis doesn't merely critique the propaganda, he also explores the psychological impact it has on soldiers and civilians alike. His work serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities and contradictions that emerge during times of war. By analysing how wartime propaganda influenced Alan Lewis's poetry, we gain another layer of context, shaping his poetic voice and his reflections on the war. His work stands as a testament to the enduring power of human experience amidst the tumultuous backdrop of war. There, he encountered a rich tapestry of cultures and landscapes that would profoundly shape his poetry. The dense jungles of Burma and its ancient pagodas provided him with fresh perspectives. These experiences were not just fleeting encounters, they left an indelible mark on Lewis's creative output. His poems began to echo the mystical and spiritual dimensions he found in Burmese culture. His writing reflects this burgeoning awareness of the interconnectedness between different cultures and natural environments. The poet's engagement with the local communities and their traditions brought depth to his work, enriching it with a global perspective. This immersion in Burmese culture not only influenced Lewis's poetry, but also left a lasting imprint on the literary world. Subsequent generations of poets have drawn inspiration from Lewis's unique fusion of Welsh introspection and Eastern mysticism. His mysterious death only adds to the enduring allure and mystery of a life lived at the crossroads of different worlds. One entry in particular stands out for its stark reflection on the brutal reality of war. "The landscape here is devastating," he writes. "The jungle has been stripped bare by constant shelling, and the once vibrant villages now lie in ruins." This vivid description paints a grim picture of the destruction wrought upon Burma. In another entry, Lewis reveals a growing sense of isolation and disconnection from the world he once knew. "I feel like a stranger in this land," he confesses. "The language is foreign, the customs are unfamiliar, and I am constantly reminded that I am an outsider here." This poignant admission underscores his emotional struggle as he grapples with the profound loneliness of war. As the diary entries progress, Lewis's thoughts turn increasingly introspective. "Why am I here?" he questions. "What purpose does my presence serve in this far-off corner of the world?" These deeply personal reflections hint at a crisis of faith and purpose as he searches for meaning amidst the chaos. Amidst the darkness, however, Lewis finds fleeting moments of beauty and solace. "The sunsets here are breathtaking," he notes, "a fiery spectacle that seems to ignite the very sky." These rare glimpses of natural beauty serve as a reminder of the enduring resilience of life in even the harshest conditions. Yet, Lewis's final entries convey a deepening sense of despair and hopelessness. "The war seems endless," he laments, "and I find myself questioning if there will ever be an end to this madness." This chilling admission foreshadows the tragic conclusion of his story. As we delve into these diary entries, it becomes clear that Alan Lewis was not merely a casualty of war, but a complex individual grappling with the profound challenges and contradictions of his time. His personal insights and emotional struggles add depth to our understanding of the human cost of conflict. Alan Lewis's lost poems were rediscovered through a meticulous process that involved piecing together fragments from various sources. Scholars spent years deciphering handwritten notes, correspondence, and drafts scattered across archives. These lost poems reveal a poignant side of Lewis's poetic trajectory, delving into themes of love, longing, and the human condition amidst the chaos of war. The rediscovered works offer a window into Lewis's emotional struggles and personal insights, enriching our understanding of his artistic growth during this turbulent period. One particular poem, In the Dark Forests, explores the stark contrast between the beauty of nature and the brutality of war, a recurring motif in his writing. The process of piecing together these lost works not only illuminates Lewis's artistic evolution, but also underscores the enduring relevance of his poetry, which continues to captivate and inspire. As we delve deeper into Alan Lewis's lost poems, we are reminded of the profound impact that war has on the human spirit and the resilience of artistic expression in the face of adversity. The rediscovery of these poems serves as a testament to Lewis's enduring legacy, deepening our appreciation for his poignant insights and the complex individual he was. Understanding Alan Lewis's journey through these rediscovered poems allows us to see more clearly the human cost of conflict and the transcendent power of artistic expression. Alan Lewis's poetry, forged in the crucible of World War II, left an enduring impact on post-war literature. His verses, brimming with the vivid realities of war and its human cost, resonated deeply with the literary community. This diary revealed that even as he wrote some of his most celebrated works, Lewis wrestled with profound personal turmoil and a sense of dislocation from the world around him. His introspective style, marked by deep emotional honesty and a keen observation of human nature under duress, influenced many post-war authors. Dylan Thomas's evocative poetry often mirrored the emotional depth and lyrical intensity found in Lewis's work. Anthologies, such as Poems of the 40s, prominently featured Lewis's work, ensuring that his voice remained a significant part of the post-war literary landscape. His poems were not just about war, they explored the universal themes of love, loss, and the search for identity in a world torn asunder by conflict. This universality made his work timeless, echoing across decades and resonating with readers long after the guns fell silent. His impact extends beyond the immediate aftermath of war, shaping a literary legacy that continues to inspire and move readers today. His writings offer a window into the psychological strain of war that shaped his final days in poetry. The diary entries reveal a man increasingly isolated, grappling with the mental toll of wartime experiences. His isolation was exacerbated by his deployment in Burma, a land far removed from the familiar landscapes of Wales. The stark contrast between the lush Welsh countryside and the harsh Burmese jungles must have been profound. Lewis's poetry during this period reflects a growing sense of melancholy and longing for home. The psychological strain of war is evident in his final writings, where the themes of loss and isolation resonate strongly. Through his poetry and diary entries, we gain insight into how the psychological strain of war contributed to Lewis's tragic end. His final days were shaped by the psychological weight of war, leaving a poignant legacy that continues to resonate.